Hey guys, my name's Dale, and you're watching Think Fact.
The communications satellite. These things will make possible a world in which we can be in instant contact with each other, wherever we may be, where we can contact our friends anywhere on Earth, even if we don't know their actual physical location. It will be possible in that age, perhaps only 50 years from now, for a man to conduct his business from Tahiti or Bali just as well as he could from London, say the year 2000.
Humans have always loved to think about the future. What will it have in store? What will the fashion, the music, the technology, or the cities be like? But there is one thing that most of us don't think about. And that is that we are currently living in an era that so many people dreamed about. In just the past 100 years, countless people have tried to predict what the world of today would be like. Some were not so close and others were right on the money. So what this video is going to do is show you guys a few pictures and a lot of footage about what the last century thought the beginning of this century would be, the 21st century, ranging from the beginning of the 20th century all the way to the really early 70s. I stopped at the early 70s because the late 70s on really became not so much about predicting, but when. And this video is just dedicated to predictions. Also, the 60s back had a lot more fun stuff because some of the stuff was just unrealistic. I'm also not getting my hands in prophecy stuff or stuff written by science fiction authors. So no Nostradamus. No Nostradamus. But I really just want to show you guys visuals, being that this is YouTube. If you want to read the stuff, there's plenty of things online. And with all that said, let's get started on this video, which is what I'm going to consider a special. Jean-Marc Côté was a French illustrator and publisher who published a bunch of pictures at the beginning of the 20th century. So I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys some of these pictures, being that they are quite cool and 100 years apart from pretty much where we are today. If you'd like to see them all, please check out the links in the description. And with that said, some of these are really quite interesting. So now we can get to the era where people really started filming these things, these predictions. Starting off with some predictions from the 30s. In the 30s, they talked a lot about fashion and city layouts, and maybe even what could be considered cell phones. Have a look and maybe a smile.
Some of the most famous fashion designers in the US today have been asked to forecast what Eve will look like in AD 2000. One idea is a dress that can be adapted for morning, afternoon, or evening. It's the sleeves, what does it? Apparently in AD 2000 we shall be having a hair-raising time. Yet another designer goes so far as to believe that skirts will disappear entirely. Shoes will have cantilever heels, and an electric belt will adapt the body to climatic changes. The lightly clad woman of tomorrow, ooh, swish, will move in an atmosphere that's scientifically kept at the right temperature. A dress of aluminium with a sash to change it for afternoon or evening, and an electric headlight to help her to find an honest man. As for him, if he matters at all, he'll be fitted with a telephone, a radio, and containers for coins, keys, and candy for cuties.
The cities of the future would be laid out to a master plan. Streets and buildings no longer haphazard but harmoniously related. Structural ingenuity would of course go on producing unusual forms, perhaps suspension bridge apartment houses.
The future predictions of the 50s really elaborated on the convenience in the household, and how in the future everything would just be easy access and easy maintenance. And some of them are pretty good and interesting predictions. So here you go.
The Monsanto house of the future stands in Tomorrowland. Tough, durable materials, easily washable. Floors, walls, shelving, and furniture, plastic, in combination with plywood, fiberglass, and other materials. Even the fabrics on furniture are of man-made fibers. A dishwasher, of course, but this one unlike any other. Washing is by ultrasonic waves. And the dishwasher is also the storage place for dishes. Plastic dishes, of course. Yes, living here could be fun. Here's a vanity which even seems fantastic for a dream of the future. A laboratory at one end, melamine surface, and a telephone system which challenges the imagination. Push buttons instead of dial, and no handset to disturb my lady's dressing. Just talk and listen. With your favorite stereophonic recordings on built-in high-fidelity equipment. The bathroom for the youngsters is also futuristic. A laboratory that adjusts to height, no stretching or bending, with features that seem pure fantasy. Built-in electric razor and electric toothbrush. And here is something we'd all like to have. The same push-button phone we saw on the dressing table, but with the added attraction of a closed-circuit television receiver. The picture on the screen? Oh, that's of whoever is standing at your front door. You see him but he doesn't see you. And you can give him any message you want over the two-way communication system. What's happening here? In an ordinary house, we'd be talking about the refrigerator and freezer. But in this house of the future, we call them cold zones. 3 of them, each lowered to handy position at the touch of a button. 1 zone for regular refrigeration, 1 for frozen, and 1 for irradiated foods. Storage shelves, too, are of plastic and are lowered electrically from the overhead cabinets.
Mramorem vykládaná plotna vůbec nepálí a přece vaří rychle a naprosto spolehlivě. Indukčními proudy. Kuchařskou knihu nahradili děrované štítky. Elektronkový přístroj se už postará o další práci. Kuřátko spolehlivě a zaručeně do zlatova upekou infračervené paprsky ve skleněné troubě.
And lastly, we have the 60s and one video from the early 70s. And this is where it gets really fun. This is due to the rise of computer technology and people understanding that it's going to play a big role in the future. And it really was a foundation for a lot of creative predictions. And it makes me smile how spot on some of them were. So here we go, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Imagine, if you can, an electronic brain operating at millionths of a second speeds. I say brain because the new electronic central office will almost think for itself. It will not only carry out instructions you dial into it, it will also remember instructions you provided earlier. These memory features will offer many convenient services I'm sure you'll be delighted with. For one thing, you'll be able to reach frequently called numbers by dialing only 2 digits. All you'll have to do is give the telephone company a list of the numbers you dial most frequently. The electronic brain's memory will do the rest. And what about those times someone has tried to call you and your line is busy? We've thought of that too.
Fine, Sarah, that's fine. I'll have the information for you at the meeting next Wednesday.
When you hear the beep tone on your telephone, you know someone else is trying to reach you.
Sarah, will you hold on just a minute? Someone else is trying to reach me.
All you do is flick the switch hook to hold the first call while you take the second. Want someone else on the line? That's easy too. Flip the switch button, then dial a code number and the number you want, and presto.
This is Martha. Doesn't I have Sarah on the line, and we want to know what to do about...
As we look to the future, we see many extras for tomorrow's telephone users. One day, you may be able to call home and automatically turn off the oven. Or, from a public telephone a couple of 100 miles away, turn on your home air conditioner and have the house nice and cool when you return from your hot trip. It may even be possible to call and water the lawn during that dry spell when you are many miles away on vacation.
Now, this is where a man might spend most of his time in the home of the 21st century. This equipment here will allow him to carry on normal business activities without ever going to an office away from home. This console provides a summary of news relayed by satellite from all over the world. Now, to get a newspaper copy for permanent reference, I just turn this button, and out it comes. When I've finished catching up on the news, I might check the latest weather. This same screen can give me the latest report on the stocks I might own. A telephone is this instrument here, a mock-up of a possible future telephone. This would be the mouthpiece. Now, if I want to see the people I'm talking with, I just turn the button, and there they are. As I work on this screen, I can keep in touch with other rooms of the house through a closed-circuit television system. With equipment like this in the home of the future, we may not have to go to work. The work would come to us. In the 21st century, it may be that no home will be complete without a computerized communications console.
The greatest progress in future uses of computers will probably come from discovering new ways of instructing them, from the development of new programs, or software as it is called.
And this is a mock-up of the TV console of the future. This would go by your armchair and give you built-in hi-fi stereo record player with the stereo speakers here. And here you could put film cassettes in to play on your television set, get your favorite old programs. And the television set itself, we can expect the screen to get bigger, but the set to get much slimmer. In fact, it's sometimes said now that it might be possible to make the television set so slim that it could be hung on the wall. Marvelous.
However, the most intelligent inhabitants of that future world won't be men or monkeys. They'll be machines, the remote descendants of today's computers. Now, the present-day electronic brains are complete morons, but this will not be true in another generation. They will start to think, and eventually they will completely outthink their makers.
So my question for you guys is are there any things in this video that you saw that you could interpret as technology that we already have today? Or were there other things predicted somewhere else that came true and you'd like to share it? Let me know in the comment. And lastly, it should be said that this is just going to be a special, unique video. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, and being that I've had so much stuff to do, it was not too hard to put together, so I wanted to do that. With changing my channel around and, oh my goodness, so much schoolwork, I just felt like it was cool to do a little something different. But the rest of my videos are not going to be like this. Unless you guys like it, then maybe something once in a blue moon. But now everything's running about smoothly, so I can get back into the normal stuff. So I hope you guys like the video. My name's Dale, this is Think Fact, and remember, never stop learning. Thank you. You don't look like this. If you guys like my videos, please stay in tune for more. Oh, okay. More videos over the facts that almost everybody missed.
On the other hand, if by some miracle a prophet could describe the future exactly as it was going to take place, his predictions would sound so absurd, so far-fetched, that everybody would laugh him to scorn. This has proved to be true in the past, and it will undoubtedly be true, even more so, of the century to come.